Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Tasha here from Pixie Mommy's Reborns. So we're just hanging out with the two twin Tinks today. Both babies are now safely home. We have Harley over here, and we have Jamison up there, and somebody's peeking out, checking out his little brother. Y'all haven't seen Aasir in a while, and he's very interested in what's going on with the new babies, and I think he wants to help. Yeah, so anyways, I am truly feeling, like I brought home two babies. If you all have been following, you know that this is Jamison. He's the little preemie baby boy that we adopted from Russia, that just arrived to us yesterday. And Harley just arrived to us on Saturday. So we have two tiny baby Tinks. So Harley, I just got finished feeding Harley. So she's all content. I wanted to show her in these beautiful little PJs, and there she is with her little bow in her hair. She's got, we won't tell her, but she's got a little magnet there. So yeah, I had made that. And these sweet little PJs actually came with Jamison from his artist. She had just kind of sent everything pictured. And she had him both pictured as a girl and a boy. So those came home with him. So they look just adorable on Harley. So I was like, that's cool. We can use them. So Jamison is waiting here patiently for his bottle. So I'm going to sit and I'm just going to feed him right here in the boppy. Because as you all know, you fussing little guy. Yes, okay. As you all know, when you have multiple babies in-house, newborns, to those of you that have been there, sometimes you have to improvise a little bit. Yeah, so let's see how this does. I don't care for these nipples, that they don't squish in like, oh, maybe. I just want to make sure, though, that's not gonna leak if I do that. What do we have there? So let's see. Doesn't really. We'll just do the side trick. We'll just do the side trick. Because he's hungry. Yes, and there's Aasir looking over. Aasir's a big boy. He can hold his bottle all on his own these days, right? He says, Mommy, I can do so much on my own. And I just love all the new babies in the nursery. He just loves to see all the new babies coming in. He oversees everything. So, and he even gets some smiles, especially out of his brother Maurice. He gets some big smiles out of him. So anyway, yeah, Jamison is taking a low iron formula. He seems to have some tummy issues with the regular classic Infamil, so I have him on the low iron, and he's being followed by the pediatrician with some replacement iron drops and things like that. Do you all remember those days? And waiting for them to poop, and the constipation and colic, and I have 4, so I most certainly have been through, all different. My first daughter was a very colicky baby. My second daughter, Noelle, she was a easy baby, very good, very easy. She was sleeping through the night by, like 4 days old. It was ridiculous. She was very content, very good. You could take her anywhere. Destiny, my third daughter, she was somewhere in between, I would say. And then Gabriel, he was small. He was not a good eater. I think he had some stomach issues. He did not have, he was definitely colicky and fussy. But it wasn't the same as my first daughter, probably because he was then now he was my fourth child. So, that in itself makes things a little easier. And I'm doing this one-handed, guys, over my knee. Also, he did not have a very loud cry. My first daughter had this loud, piercing cry. Boy, did she have a set of lungs on her, which that just made it put the edge on things. I don't know how else to explain it. She was a big baby, and she had, when she screamed, it sounded like a pig being stuck, and it was like 24/7. Gabriel had a much more muffled cry, and he was just tiny, and it passed with him after a few months. It probably passed with my first daughter after a few months, but it probably felt like it took longer. I don't know. So, alrighty. I think that's probably about enough for him right now. We're feeding him in, often in small amounts. Right, little guy? Right, little guy? Now you're a little more content. I was so nervous. If you all watched the box opening, oh my goodness. If you're new, hello and welcome. This is just a little bit of role play I threw in here. I'm not cracking up. I know these are dolls. But I'm just having a lot of fun. And it just brings back that feeling of bringing home, a new baby. And I've never actually had twins, although I've taken care of a few very young newborn and infant babies at the same time, because I went to work as a nanny when my daughter was only a few months old. When my first daughter was only a few months old, and I had a baby that was newborn. Well, she was like 7 days old. She was like a week old when I started, and a 2.5-year-old toddler, her brother, that I watched with my own daughter. And, through the years, I've taken care of many of newborns at the same time, but, never my own set of twins, I'm sure. It can be exhausting. I just love, with these Tinks, let me prop her head up so you can see her a little better. Harley girl. I just love that, that they're different, they're the same sculpt, but, well, obviously one's a boy and one's a girl, but that, I achieved a different look. I was very, nervous, that they're different from each other, so that I can enjoy, this sculpt that I love and having twins, but just have a little bit of a difference. I gotta tell you, there is just nothing like Myra and Kimberly's work. I adore them. I just do. They're amazing artists. With that said, Jamison's artist is definitely, he is a stunning baby. He is extremely hyper realistic. His painting, his details. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick this up, but like even his leg, like the mottling. He's got a little pimple there on the legs. I mean, I took some photos, and if I can attach them, if the video goes longer and I have to use the KinMaster, I'll attach them. If not, they'll be on Instagram. It's at PixieMommies_reborns is my Instagram account, and I'll have pictures posted there. Because I did get some pictures of him this afternoon in the living room, you know, in the natural daylight, and boy, he is just incredibly painted and realistic. I'm pretty sure this artist has done prototypes also. You know, her babies are very beautiful. So, you know, just different. I do, you know, again, I lean towards, you know, darker, you know, babies. I love that, you know, AA babies is my true preference. And, you know, Myra's babies, you know, have a beautiful tan glow to them. They have like a Mediterranean, I don't know, they're just, you know, very beautiful and darker skinned. Although they're Caucasian babies, they just, you know, they have a darker skin tone. But it was, again, it was nice to have the difference in the Tinks. It's nice to have, you know, diversity in your collection and have from different artists as well. So it took me, I was taken back and surprised. I did not expect Jamison to arrive yesterday. So that coupled with my nervousness about, you know, adopting from an artist that I didn't know, and then I also don't have a connection with. I mean, I'm sure she's very nice, but I just, you know, I don't know her, you know, personally at all. And so, you know, there was no history there with the artist or anything behind it. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm just looking at it. It's cool that he's like my little orphan baby from Russia, my little international adoption, which is cool. And on to, as far as shipping, I wanted to show you guys all something. And I'm one-handed here. I'm probably going to need Harley as a comparison. Wanted to show you something on Jamison's foot. Now, I am in no way complaining or making an issue out of this. It's just something that I took note of. And because I have, you know, Harley, I was really able to notice with the sculpt, and I don't even know if you'll be able to see here, but his ankle is extremely bent up. You see how his foot is almost like flattened here and it's pushed up? It's almost like distorted. I don't know if you guys can see that, or any of you all that have the Tink can see how pushed up that foot is. It's not supposed to be like that. It's, and I can feel, hold on. It should be like this. So it's, you know, now I am guessing, and I will show you Harley's foot. I am guessing that either the kit came to the artist that way, and that's just how the legs were in the box, and this foot was pushed. Because do you all see what I'm talking about? It should be like this. Now, I can probably rig something or do something to hold that foot like that, and in time it will fix itself, because his belly plate came on him. You know, he was wearing his belly plate, and he was a few weeks in shipping. And look at how nice and molded the belly plate is for his body. I don't have Harley's out to show you, but Harley's is flat across, and I have to, you know, curl it to get around on her. So obviously the vinyl, if held in a certain position for, you know, several days or whatever is going to do that. So I'm thinking the way that he was shipped. Now, any of you that watched the box opening and saw, and the box was kind of crushed, and, you know, so his foot may have been pushed up like that for a few weeks. And I'm guessing that that's probably why it's like that. Like I said, that's not a big deal to me at all. And I can fix that or live with it. It's really not an issue for me. Hang on, let me put you all down for a second. I'm sorry. Okay, so this same foot here, you see Harley's foot? The toes are really curled up, but the ankle, and I don't even want to push her ankle to go, you know, to do that. But it's totally, you know, different. You know, his is smushed. His is smushed. So anyway, my only reasoning for bringing this up, I'll take both her feet out. My only reason for bringing this up, guys, is as far as packing your babies. And I was messaging with a friend this morning saying about how I packed my Graceland and Little Peanut to go. And, you know, I understand, and if you all watched the box opening, you saw that there was no packing in the box. The box was in a bag, and the baby was not in bubble wrap. He was just in this little sack that the artist made very beautiful. But there was absolutely no packing in the box whatsoever. And, you know, to me, I feel like you're taking big chances when you ship a baby like that. Now, thank God he arrived safely to me. You know, aside from the little, you know, foot that's a little distorted, but you know, maybe some people will make a big deal out of that. I don't know. It doesn't, you know, it's not something I would do. I wouldn't even mention it to the artist. You know, I just, you know, I messaged her. I said, he arrived safely. You know, he's beautiful. Thank you so much. You know, thank you for the chocolate and the clothes. And that was it. And I sent 2 pictures, and that was it. So, you know, again, it's not something that I would bring up, but, you know, again, for if you have to send a baby, you know, somewhere, because I know a lot of, you know, collectors, you know, rotate their collection, buy and sell, and, usually for the most part, when you see box openings on YouTube, you see the babies packed pretty well. I know that the artists that I normally deal with pack, you know, well. But yeah, it's something to think about when you're packing up a baby, that, you know, the extra, what, $2 for bubble wrap, you know, it's not expensive. You know, even if you have to use, you know, a few heavier blankets that you have or whatever, just anything to do the best that you can, to wrap up the baby the best that you can, is always really smart. Now, I realize that coming overseas, that a baby is going through customs. His box definitely looks like customs opened it for sure. And this artist may be aware of that. And maybe the artists run into problems when the babies are well packed up, where the customs is really just undoing the wrapping anyway. And the artists see that the baby just comes, you know, maybe even worse for the wear. You know, you don't know, you can't assume to know. And, you know, again, I don't have a line of communication like a friendship with the artist where I'm going to start asking questions like that. So I can only just guess. And I always, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, especially on an artist that, you know, clearly puts a lot of time and love and effort into their work. Very, very clearly. You know, there's nothing about this baby that isn't absolutely stunning. So I can only presume that, you know, being a master artist, you know, I think she's 12 or 14 years, something, you know, over 10 years, you know, of experience in, you know, likely in shipping overseas. You get to know a few things. And so there may be a very good reason why, the baby was not, you know, so securely wrapped up again. You know, and that could have everything to do with customs. But just in general, I just wanted to show you guys that, what, you know, some time in having the vinyl pushed on can do. You know, it can distort, you know, a baby. Now, this, again, foot is not a big deal to me. If it bothers me, I will rig something to hold it down, to get it to, I'm probably just going to leave it. It's really not, you know, it's really no big deal. If this were maybe a bigger baby that would be wearing shoes and stuff like that, it might be a big deal to me. For this particular sculpt, and the fact that you probably wouldn't even notice. I might not have even noticed if I didn't have another Tink sitting right here, you know. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a big deal to me. But again, it could have been anything. If it was an arm, if it was you know, it can happen. It can happen so easily. So moral of the story is pack your babies well, is what I just figured I would say while I was making this video. And again, and I'm just sitting here on my bed with the babies and just, you know, hanging out, taking it all in, taking in my two Tinks. And Miss Harley, girl, she's so beautiful. She is such a character. I mean, this baby has the hugest personality. For such a tiny baby, she has such a huge personality, which I just love. Yes, you are definitely my little Miss Harley girl. Yes, you are. Hi, Gabe.
Hi. I'm still not feeling good at all.
Oh, Gabe was laying down on the couch. He came home from school with a little bit of a headache.
I actually feel really sick.
All right, I'm coming. All right, so I'm going to finish up. I'm going to go see where Gabe is at now. You feel sick to your tummy? I'm not even going to show you on video, all right?
I don't want anyone hearing me throw up in a toilet.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. So everyone, Gabe is obviously now really not feeling well. So let me go tend to him, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. And thank you, Gabe, and we'll see you all soon. All right, everyone. God bless.